And we go again. Oh, Christ almighty. I like how the recommendations it has for me are all, like, side quests I've not done in the zone I'm in. I'm just sitting there going, you can stop recommending me that, I think.
Nah. Keep going.
Good show, Robux. Your performance has earned us front row seats at the award ceremony. This should afford us the perfect vantage point to thwart the thief.
I found it!
Come, let us return to the Colosseum.
Crafter jewelry!
I've had crafted jewelry literally the whole time. Is it that rare?
Yes. For those of us who don't have all of them.
Oh, yeah, probably fair. Level Goldsmith is really easy and it gives you a lot of shit.
Oh, it's gonna make my life so much fucking easier now.
I was really hoping that the wind-up Ultras would jump on my head or shoulders or something if I beckoned it. I'm now disappointed. Wait. It was the battle for the ages, but a worthy victor has risen to claim the spoils, and now let's take a look at the relic the champion has won. Behold, from the personal vaults of Master Fergus himself, the Warden's Grace, a timeless treasure the likes of which our realm has never seen, one that's earned the attention of Eorzea's most prominent pilferer. Gahaha. Above you. Ladies and gentlemen, inspectors and invertebrates, the opening act dragged on overlong, but worry not, the main event is about to begin. I know that you have paid well for your seats here today, but I can assure you that my performance will not leave you disappointed, and I invite one and all to sit back and enjoy the show. Vile fiend, mark my words, you have stolen your last treasure. I swear it on the Mandeville name. I think not, Hildegard. Greg? 'Tis always a pleasure to reunite with old friends, but your timing truly leaves something to be desired. Ropax, you were bested me once, but not today. I shall have my revenge when I pierce your heart with my spear. Do you not mean your skewer? My spear! Vile thief, there is not a shred of honor in you. Return my weapon at once. Oh, it seems we have an unexpected guest. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I fear it turns out today's performance is by invitation only.
I now consistently get 100% high quality
No.
shit, and it makes me feel amazing.
Now it's raining truffles, but the battle's already... Oh yeah, it's a great feeling when you finally got that sorted out. Mr. Typhon? Just a moment. I'm sure I had a tissue around here somewhere. Funga. Alas and alack, the ring sailed straight into the hands of the fiend. Giving up so soon, are we? Those don't sound like the words of a Mandeville man. But of course, brilliant, father. If the ring won't come to me, I shall go to the ring, where it will be
Well,
like
that
the
boss is a pain
Dolomite.
in the ass, hey?
Hildebrand, Heliodor,
It's going fine so far.
Maximilian of Mandeville.
When I cast Mortal Gaze, turn away from it.
Skyward as only a Mandeville can.
Oh, we were wiping. Ah! I never even noticed.
Are you sure you were wiping, or did people just not
your
get out
own
of the death?
strength.
I would assume we were wiping. But I do see a lot of them really close to each other, though.
$997, $998, $999. Oof.
This just in. World of Darkness is actually the worst.
God, but Mandeville is such a Chad.
Just leave me at his mum.
Oh boy.
I am almost level 80.
These legs, they look strangely familiar.
I am 69 and I'm still doing endgame content instead of actually the next expansion.
Well, no, you need to do this to get to it. The game does make you do the tower.
Ha, put a little too much spin on that one, it seems. Not exactly as planned, but who can argue with the results? Save for one thing, this ring is a fake. But no matter, I have a feeling this will lead me to the true treasure. Until next time, friends, you have been a most attentive audience. That key, bloody hells. God, seize this fiend at once. It's too late, sir. The second prize, the Ring of Inquiry, it's gone. Second prize? What's the meaning of this? Many-faced fiend or no, the man spoke true. A master Goldsmith's eye cannot be deceived. This sun sphere is clearly a second-rate replica. Preposterous, it's just the dim lighting, yes, if you just step over here. Have you taken ill, friend? You seem to be perspiring most heavily. Let's not be so hasty, friends. I can explain.
Easy.
I sold out my honor, joined forces with that odious octopus, all for false treasure. What a fool I have been. Whatever was I thinking? Do not berate yourself, Miss Avila. Why, it was exactly as you said, was it not? You were thinking of dear Hegelina and nothing more. I suppose I was at that. How do you know my sister's name? I assure you, young miss, under no circumstances did I tell you to the nano of minds to eavesdrop on your intimately personal dialogue with your beloved sister. Ah, you have the right of it. Blinded by the prospect of fortune and fame, I lost sight of myself and now what I was truly fighting for. My honor and my sister's trust will not be easily regained, but I will not shirk from the challenge. One mystery still remains. Before the thief had identified the ring as a fake, he had already acquired the key to the storeroom. Clearly the second prize, this Ring of Inquiry, was his target from the start. But why? There must be some pattern to the items this fiend has stolen. A pattern that betrays his true intentions. The Treaty Blade, Azema's Virtue, the Ring of Inquiry, all relics with quite a history. Or to be more precise, relics from the era of the Belladians. Oh, if that is so, the answer is clear as day. The Fiend means to found Eorzea's greatest museum of Ballardian history, pushing up the prices and gouging honest men out of their hard-earned coin. Doubtless another one of his cards will appear on the scene to tell us just as much.
Okay, yeah, second time around. This boss was way easier. We didn't know what he does.
Yeah.
Generally how it goes. Oh, you two doing it together?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Just unlocked another roulette, so I did it for the stuff. I can buy a weapon now.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed our little game, but all good things must come to an end. I shall claim the 4 sacred treasures, and justice shall be served. So this is the thief's final challenge to us. But what are these 4 treasures of which he speaks? Where the 4 treasures of Ballardia become one, the wicked shall be judged in the blazing light of sun. An old legend, little more than a fairy tale, and that. And yet it seems the fandom believes there is some truth in those words. 4 sacred treasures of Ballardia? The Warden's justice? Lofty words coming up from a glorified footpad. One who's winning over the common folk by the day, if rumours are to be believed. It would seem that the tales of the master chef ruffling the thief, ruffling the feathers of the rich and famous have won him more than a few admirers. Consider his targets thus far: an old-down collector and a hired thugs, a trading mogul and the blades, and now a mining magnate and the stone torches. It is any surprise that the sympathies of the ordinary Ordans would lie with their perpetrator rather than its victims? Astutely observed, Miss Ellie. Our quarry clearly harbours no small degree of resentment for wealth and authority. Might his next target be a member of the Syndicate? Perhaps the Sultana herself? Aha, then it
Genuinely don't understand the
will
economy in
to
this
his
game
downfall.
sometimes.
For the greater the challenge, the higher I rise. Just
Me
one moment,
neither.
if you would.
But then again,
Oh yeah, it's completely batshit.
Like, you can buy the like. I need a spool of wool, and like the cloth for it. So I looked it up, and it was like 15,000 for each. I was like, that's fucking expensive. So I looked up what the thread was, and like to craft a thread, you need the balls, and the balls set like one ball sells for 5 gil.
Yep.
I don't understand.
Yep. It'd be fucking batshit. Or there's like, I think when I was leveling one of my, I think it was blacksmithing or something, I made one hammer which is used for armor smithing and then another hammer which is used for armor smithing. They had a level discrepancy of 1. One sells for its vendor price and the worst one sells for 10, 20k.
Yeah, it's like it's just.
And I just sit there
what?
and go, why? By all rights, You should sell at least marginally better than the other one, not infinitesimally less. Well, there's some like really ugly, like it's level 50 items, so I don't expect them to sell because obviously Heaven Ward basically replaces all the items you would ever get. But there's some really ugly items that sell for so much, and I just look at it and go, why? Why? I don't understand.
Oh, there's apparently a huge Steam sale going on. What's happening?
Black Friday sale.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is Black Friday, isn't it?
Completely forget that's the thing when people don't mention it to me in the office anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed that when you don't tell people, they kind of forget, and there's more in stock.
Aha, then it will be his downfall. For the greatest challenge, the higher that I rise. Just one moment, if you would. Mark my words, ye of many faces, there's but one man who shall lay claim to the four lost relics of Balladeer, and it shall be Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. Yes, I'm sure that inspires someone with great confidence. What's that? No, it couldn't be. Methinks Gobber may need a new pair of spectacles.
The Cerberus.
For these Hildebrand quests,
Yes.
do they eventually like wrap up? Is it like always the same thief? Or are the next ones in like Heaven Ward a completely different kind of
We're all set apart.
arc? Yeah, okay. Cool, that's what I thought. Because if it was going to be the same thing, this was going to get old real quick. The key to the next case is a mark. Have you ever worn a mask for so long that you forgot what you actually look like? I have. And how did they free? It's in midair, like that. Talk about a mystery. Oh well. See you next time. I was not mentally prepared for what this Hildebrand questline was actually going to involve, if I'm honest.
Mm.
I heard it was silly. That's about all I, spoiled myself for. And that you really should do it. And now I'm just sitting here going, huh. Just, huh.
Have you finished it now, or?
Nah, I think I'm on the last set of quests in ARR. Just did the Colosseum. Finished the Colosseum stuff. So I believe all that's left is the final thing. I haven't looked at what it involves. Hildebrand Mandeville quests. Yeah. So my next one is the one. It's like a quest chain of 5 quests. Ending with an emote, a toy.
Oh yeah, and your fans box.
Yes. Oh, and a title.
What's the title?
Gentleman/gentlewoman.
Oh, yeah.
Considering the current one I'm using is Builder of the Realm, I think I'll be going with that one. I was wondering when you show up, Ropax. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of the All Down Society. Mr. Many Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene. Leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. And the message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the mythical eye's been selling like Ponza cakes. The only rub is that it's left me in no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Rapax? The hidden treasure of Oldar, was it? If there's only one thing that can shed the light on it, it's you-know-who to Sunsilk Tapestries. Oh, Wymond. Well now, if it ain't my favourite venture, my favourite Mithril reporter, along with him. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help the 2 of my best mates, I'm afraid you've found old Wyman at a loss. Odo has more than his fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our Phantom Thief could be about just any of them. I can tell you this much though. Whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan Swan in a right diver. Word has it they formed a regiment of their best and tried to safeguard the royal vaults at the very least. The Sultan's Swan are like to be forthcoming with information, but it's only we've got. Come on, Ropax, I'd say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the Swan.
Okay.
Oi, hold up there, Ellie.
I think I'm at the last boss.
Generally the worrying
Oh,
type,
yes, that
but
one.
you
And I
may
was like,
want to
"Ooh,
think
ooh,
twice before you get yourselves involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying
Nice.
to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is more than selling papers. I have a duty to proceed to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Ropax, time is of the essence. Go to the Alchemist Guild.
Hey, Vitra.
Oh, you guys seen the new WoW mount they've added to the store?
No?
It'd be a cat.
Alright, yeah.
Let me find the WoW head post for it. There we go. Posted it in the Warcraft channel. The picture of the
Yeah.
new
I'll check in a second.
kitty.
Is there a way to compare items, you know, like in WoW?
Yes.
Right click item comparison.
Pain.
Out there. Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in. Foul bugger me with a broadsword. Is the gentleman a light and venturing companion, and that catty but cute reporter from the Mithril's Eye? Well, well, if it isn't the self-styled warrior of light. Tell me, what tall tales did you spin on the Sultan Swan recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing the gentleman of light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me to the depths of my soul like. I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm just like my hero, Master Hildebrand. The Sultan Swan were proofs by my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me you've come to assist Master Hildebrand in his investigation, haven't you? Cool, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help my mates who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Felice. She's one of the Swan's best, and something of a history buff, it'd seem. When she heard that the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belafia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I can't trust you not to touch anything, aye?
Yeah, we did it.
Grats.
Oh, that's pretty cute, actually.
A pleasure to meet you, Felice. My name is Ellie from the Mithril. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case, and would appreciate any information that can shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie, and if I'm not mistaken, that would make you a companion friend here, one Rupax Zeresh, yes? You know Rupax? As any regular reader of Mithril would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the Inspector too will also be a welcome helping hand. The Sultan Swan. The elite of Oldal's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the burgling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Bryden, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Ropax, a moment if you would. Right there, very good. Now face me and don't move an elm. Inspector, what's that in your cough? Cough, cough, cough. Demasking dust. A formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thieves' disguises. Analysing the mass left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify a composition and synthesize a counter-agent that would dissolve the disguise, whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector. The Phantom Feast pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan Swan at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Oda, the last of the 4 lost relics of Belardia. I fear not. I've poured through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe the 4 sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these 4 Belardian heroes, but make no mistake as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's targets, and 3 times he has fooled us, making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the thief's strength. All artifacts of Belardian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I have furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The Black Guard will be in chains before he can lay a filthy hand on the vault doors. Learn the treasures within. You have our word, my lady. But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan's one I've launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too preoccupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for your assistance, any assistance you could offer. A lady asks and a gentleman answers. Cast no worry from your heart, milady. Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. But you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame that. Inspector Hildebrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far, the head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that, they were all influential figures in their respective circles. We can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked out over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a great sword? Strangled with a subligar, mayhap? I am afraid we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderers plots the deaths of 2 more, even as we speak. We must take action and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My renowned powers of deduction are more than up to a task. I will see this burglar turned butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildebrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single satchel, but I trust you will put it to good use. Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend? I like your gusto, but if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that the role has been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Robux, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. Sorry, just checking something. Okay. My question about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 Sins of Sasimo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues. Clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious of my ever-loyal associate. We must put Miss Phyllis's demasking dust to good use. Map. Where the flying crap is that? Gate of the Sultana. Flowers? Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist, who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? Eh? I'm the one who put that flowers there, eh? To honor their memory of my poor boy, you dare defile his memory? Huh? 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire.
Oh no.
I swear
Is
to you,
this it?
on my own dear
The rise
mother's
and fall
name,
of gentlemen?
that your son's killer will be brought to justice. It's the start of something magical. But yes, that is the Hildebrand questline. Oh yeah, I watched the Final Fantasy documentary of like when they did the first version of the game and then basically had to redo it all the other day. That was actually
it's
really
fascinating.
That's a really interesting watch.
I admit I find it interesting enough they decided to just nuke the first game and just build over it instead of making a new game, you know?
At one point, you gotta cut your losses and be like, alright, what's the easiest way to do this?
Yeah. Yeah. And listening to how Yoshi P was organizing the team was actually also very interesting. Of like going to all the developers or what have you, how long would this task take? And then just going across all of them and just averaging it. That I found interesting, and then just like him gaming his developers, and I'm just sitting there going, shit, do my managers do this to me? Oh no.
Fuck.
Oh no. I mean, it makes sense, but oh no. I also found it funny how he managed to sell doing the Final Fantasy like complete remake to like management, etc. Kind of interesting. Of, you know, you can either take the hit on your reputation and make it profitable, or
we all go down together.
yeah, exactly. And it was one of those things of like, you heard the American guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, kind of going, oh yeah, when we were working on it and it was nearing the end, we knew this wasn't good. Like, we knew. And I was just seeing that as like a dev, just sitting there going, oh yeah, I know. Where you do something and just doing it like, I'm doing this because I'm told to do this. I don't agree with this in any manner whatsoever, and I'd be shocked if anyone ever bought this or enjoyed this in the game industry sense. And I was just sitting there going, oh dear, this is hitting a bit too close to home.
I need to sit down.
These flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place, run away while you still can. Run away, far away. Run, he'll turn you into a zombie just like my poor, poor boy. A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. Not nonsense, my boy. History. Have you not heard of the horrors of Sildir? Any older sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, aye, but I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught brewed by Sildian alchemist, one with the power to turn the living to the undead. That his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers. The trader's spurn. It was also interesting because the documentary is kind of old now. Just like Yoshi P's look. Slightly changed, but you can always tell with the fucking rings. Holy shit. Those seem so inconvenient to use, like just have on a day-to-day basis.
I don't get people who wear like rings on all of their fingers. Like, what if you need to punch someone?
I mean, in my early years at uni, I did have 3 or 4 rings on, like bulky rings on one hand.
Oof.
Which was, you know, I like them and all that, but at a certain point it was just like, and I was even using them when I was still doing coding and stuff like that, which was an interesting exercise. But I have not worn those in fucking 5 years or more. Because fuck me, can I not be bothered. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotting flesh and rammed him through, but you won't hear that from the Sorceress one. Foul alone knows why, but they risked the body away before they could let me so much as pay with my respects. Ah. The trader's spurn? I've heard the stories, but I never thought them to be true. To be able to produce such a frightening thing, just who are we dealing with here? A Sildin, I'm sure of it. Aye, only a Sildin would know the recipe. But for the remnants of Sildin had died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did, they did! He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does, but did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma. I did, about the 4 relics of Balladia and the powers they hold. The power to exact justice. A spectre of Silda has returned to wreak havoc on us. Woe, woe unto us all. Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a trader like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of the history books and never so much breathed the accursed name of the Sildir. But you did, and now we're doomed, doomed, doomed. That bleeding Whoreson's here somewhere. I can feel it in my follicles. Follices. Oh no, it's follicles. The most potent hair tonic the realm has seen? Aye, that it was. For all a fortnight before my flowing locks all went out again. And all just as channeling up a lovely lady at the quicksand. Just to twist the knife an extra ilm. Monteblack. Charlatan, I found that so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of the hair from their bleeding skulls. It's all becoming clear to me now that dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at his rotting flesh, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Once your ears and open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. A phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and dead for nigh on century since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon this vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturge's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sildur might serve us well. Go research at your will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Bryden. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, I shall not escape my inspector's eye. Alright, I think I'm going to do auctions and head to bed. Feeling kind of tired. And I'll probably end up streaming a lot tomorrow anyway. Finish up this quest line. We need 5. One, 2. Strength. Mm-hmm. $4,000. $2,900. Last one. $950. Like, I don't get it. I'm selling 2 items that are literally comparable with each other, with slightly different what would equivalent be secondary stats, and there's like a 20k price tag difference. Why? The pricey one doesn't even look good. I don't. I'm just gonna shut up and sell it. I don't care. Fuck it. I'm giving up trying to reason with these people.
I like Gridania, but the one thing I hate about Gridania is the fact that there's so many things so far apart from each other.
True.
Oh yeah. It's a fucking nightmare for that. selling 2 different gloves. I know I said I'd shut up about this, but this irritates me. Sell 2 different gloves. One gives control 25, one gives control 24. The control 24 sells for 35k, the other one sold for 15. Why?
Don't question it, James. Just sometimes it's best if you don't.
That way lies madness.
Oh well, I finally managed to break 1 million gil again. Happy days.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, that's gonna be me for today.
I know you're in a dungeon right now, hey, but where are you outside of the dungeon?
Outside of Horizon.
Okay. I have a gift for you.
Oh, like gifts.
Right, I'm gonna head off. Got work early tomorrow.
Be good.
Good night, James.
Good night.
See ya. And with that, I bid you adieu. As I said, tomorrow will be Final Fantasy when I start streaming, probably literally the entire evening and probably into the bit early hours. Probably going to be a long stream. But flip side of that is I do need to finish now. So yeah, Friday, Saturday, Final Fantasy, unless my friend who does co-op with me wants to do co-op, and I may stream that instead. And then Sunday, usual thing of Final Fantasy till raid time, raid, Final Fantasy after, probably an early night because work. So yeah, that's the general plan for the weekend. Certainly going to be streaming a lot more than I did last weekend, I can tell you that fucking much.